I, 30. As the title states, I am being accused of isolating my wife, which is being emotionally abusive to her. 10 years ago, she dated this guy for a couple weeks that she was friends with for 4 years prior. They had a kid together, but she ended up having a miscarriage, and there hasn't been any contact since. Fast forward to about a month ago, she got a new job where he works at. Before she started, she told me about that, and I was totally okay with her working there and whatnot as long as nothing happened. For the past month, she has been bringing him up in conversations where it wasn't even necessary or relevant. And a couple of weeks ago, she told me that they were texting outside of work about work-related issues. For the record, they are both at a part-time job where no outside contact is necessary. I would also like to add that ever since her and I got together, her profile pics on Facebook have been different pics of her and I. The other day, she changed it to just her, and she told me that sometimes she has random spurts where she wants to change her profile picture. When I brought up how her talking to him outside of work made me uncomfortable, I got called insecure. A week ago, she stopped. But last night, the issue got brought up again, and she told me I am isolating her from her friends. I have never told her not to hang out with her friends. The only time I have asked her to spend time with me instead was when I would have my first day off in over a month queues. I was working 3 different jobs, and I wanted to spend time with her. That was once every month or so, if that. So would that be considered isolation? Or is my gut feeling correct that she has some feelings that are resurfaced that she's in denial about? Update, as the title states. This is an update to a post I made about a couple of weeks ago regarding everything that's transpired in that timeline. I found out that she didn't miscarry and that she unfortunately had a stillborn. A couple of weeks in their relationship, she had a seizure in front of him. He freaked out and left her, and then she found out she was pregnant but never told him the whole time. All communication outside of work has been terminated since before the post, and she apologized for saying I was being insecure and alienating her. And she also realized he is not a friend. He is an ex and a former baby daddy, if even that. Things have been going great. Up until yesterday when I let a coworker of mine borrow my laptop and he sent me a message around 11 saying, "Hey, Ick, what happened?" I was checking my email and this name popped up. Then the computer started acting crazy. I was trying to be transparent with her and let her know that I may have gotten hacked or something. Eek. This name is an ex of mine who I separated from a couple weeks or so before meeting my current wife. For context, I met my wife in person for the first time, 3/5/2023, and we made things official on 3/2020. 3, and we made things official on 3/2. My wife went ghost on me for 6 hours until she called me and asked what that text was about, to which I told her. I vaguely remember my wife asking me when we first started hanging out if I was still in contact with any exes. I told her no, because at the time I believed that a dozen or so email messages wasn't considered active contact, and the only reason there was email contact from 3/8/2023 is because I blocked her on everything else on 3/4/2023, because the ex told me she was smitten for someone else, and she was wanting to stay friends. And I was essentially trying to tell the ex that friendship is off the table. I was too much of a sissy to block the emails too. In that 24-hour email thread, she said, "I miss you," and that she's mourning the old friendship. I replied, "I miss you too, and I am mourning it as well." But I specified during that time I only missed the friendship aspect, and nothing more. After her last email on 3/8, I completely cut contact and forgot about the whole thing until yesterday. I feel like my marriage is over. She hasn't been the same person since the whole thing, and we have barely talked since. I apologized profusely to my wife for not being fully honest with her. I would also like to add that on 12/22/2023, we went to a Christmas party at her cousin's place, and she has an ex that is an extended part of that family. When we first got to the party, she saw him and was like, "Ugh, my ex is here," but never pointed him out. Fast forward a couple of hours, and I see her talking to this dude exchanging phone numbers because he's an executive at his company and would like to reach out to her for marketing purposes. And then before we leave, she gives the same dude a one-armed side hug. That dude turned out to be the ex, although I didn't know that until after the hug. A couple of days later, she started cleaning out her old phone contacts and conveniently didn't delete his, even though there were no messages or anything between the two. I had to ask her 2 days ago to delete his number cues. He had no business having access to her. Update: what a way to ring in the new year. Today, while I was cleaning the house, I went to put her child's phone on the charger when I noticed she left her Apple Watch, and I saw a suspicious-looking text from an unknown number. It turns out it was a racy text thread that she started about how she had to hold herself back from sending pictures of herself to him, of her in the shower, along with talking about the memories they have together of their sex life. I documented everything before calling her and telling her we are done, and that she can stay with App. So not only did she lie to me about not being attracted to him, she lied about not being in contact with him. All of you in the previous threads regarding her being close to cheating on me were 100. Correct. I am serving her annulment paperwork tomorrow, once I get with an attorney to see what all needs to be done. Thankfully, I was only married to her for 7 months, so it's not too much of a loss. I'm just upset because I was her caretaker and provider for the whole year. I was with her, and this is how she thanks me. She is blocked on everything and will never be a part of my life or my family's life ever again. I am not looking back after.